Big Al.
Hello everybody, it's Big Al with some more content for Lord of the Rings Rise to War. This video I am very excited about. This video is going to be a possibility to a game-changing free-to-play army. So I've been testing this out all season, and this was the perfect server to do it in. Yes, I know my account's not the smallest, but it is mostly free-to-play, and what I'm going to show you will work with smaller levels. So let's talk about the army first and foremost. So this is a free-to-play friendly army. Okay, let me fill him just in case I get hit with eagles. So Frodo, plain and simple, Frodo should be a free-to-play's best friend. He is the best tank in the game. People that are experienced or spend money, they don't use Frodo for the reason that he doesn't help the rest of their army. But that's because they've spent money to get these other tanks that not only tank, but they provide evasion for the army or some other kind of buff to the army. So, with that being said, free to play, it is Frodo. People try to get, whales try to get too much out of their tanks. Frodo is the tank. The reason for that is his skills. This one right here, Master of Bag End, minus 30% damage. That's every hit is minus 30%. Then at R4, you get this. He evades 35% of the time. So he's going to evade 3 rounds out of 10 pretty much every time. Sometimes he'll get 4. So that's a lot of damage reduction. He does have some skill that does help a little bit. It's an attack boost for these races' units for your other formations. Okay? Which really isn't a big deal. It really isn't. Used to be better, but that's alright. But that is so much damage reduction. And all you do is you load him up with as much command and as much unit defense as you can. As you can see, I have some gold gear here. I don't have many refines. I don't have many strengthens. I only have 366 command. I think with all purple, I think it gets to like 320-ish when they're full. But if you're able to throw in the extra unit defense like this does, you know, the Cutlass only gives 18, this gives 30. The Horseman's Helm gives either 18 or 15. Right now I'm getting 28. So these are the things that are going to help. So first off, you have Frodo as your tank. Then I have Gandalf the Gray, which both of these commanders are free-to-play friendly. Gandalf the Gray is about damage reduction. Both Gandalfs are. It's about this White Council right here. Okay? That is one of the most important skills. And this also ties into what this formation can do against whales. Okay? You're getting this damage reduction for 7 instances of battle. That could last 2 rounds. It could last 3 rounds. Okay? And then he has some other skills, but the White Council is the most important. So what I do with him is I load him up with focus because the White Council is modified. I'm going to round that and say it's 200 focus. Okay, for every 100 focus at level 10, this gives an extra 20% reduction. So I'm almost getting 40% reduction plus the flat rate of 18. So that's 58% reduction. Again, I am rounding. Okay. And I have nothing really special here on him. Correct? Correct. So, next, you have Sauron. I know he is a mythic commander, and it's a little bit harder to get to. But if you make this your primary focus, you can have him respect level 2 after a couple seasons, and that is usable because it does give you some crowd control. And I'll explain what I'll explain what crowd control is in a minute, okay? Ideally, you want them respect level 4. Now, what Sauron brings to the table is crowd control. And what crowd control is, it's stun, it's madness, it's debuff. Pretty much, he is trying to manipulate the enemy army. So, first and foremost, you have the enemy, and it's a debuff skill. Okay, as you can see, attack, defense, and focus of 3 enemy formations, and it goes to 4 when it's maxed out, is 15%, and it's modified by focus. Okay, now there's different ways to build Sauron, and you're not gonna see many people build it like this. I'm gonna be honest with you, because most people that are using them have spent a little bit of money, and they're running a different kind of formation. This is a specific formation style. So, he gets 100 focus, I get an extra 3%. That's 18%, okay? Whales are going to have 220, 240 commander attack, or more than that, and the same goes for their commander focus if they're using, say, Sauron, okay? So right there is around 50 less, okay? At 200, it is 18. I'm at 18%, so at 200, that's 36. He's down to 164 attack. That makes a big difference, okay? There's that to start with. Now we're going to go over here. This one helps you do more damage, okay? Damage received by the enemy, and again, that modifies by focus. That's not the main important part. It does help, though. On round 5, it has a 35% chance to inflict madness on the target. So that's 3 enemies, commander and unit. So 6 total targets, and you're getting 35%. So we're going to say that's a third, because I'm going to round. So that's 2 of them are going to be hit with madness. Okay? Now, the next skills. You have this one, Lord of Gifts. It does focus damage, but it has a 30% chance to inflict madness on the target for 1 round. Okay? So again, it's a third. Again, I'm rounding. And there's 4 targets. So sometimes it's going to get 1, sometimes it's going to get 2. This fires off every 2 rounds. Well, after 2 round preparation, so round 3, 6, and 9. Here's another one. Same rounds. It inflicts stun. It's got a 50% chance to inflict stun on the enemy formation that it's hitting. All of this adds up to a lot of crowd control. And I'm going to go over some reports and show you some of these things. So, in order for this to work, your Sauron has to be faster than their Sauron. And I'm also going to show in reports the difference. The reason is you want him to act before their Gandalf the White, before anything else, before their Sauron. Because if you get that damage reduction on them, or right here, the enemy, the stat reduction on their Gandalf the White before he launches White Council, guess what? It's less White Council, a smaller percentage that he has. So, I don't have the equipment to make agility sets. So, it's the set effect. So, I am just putting items on him that make sense, that have initiative on there. So like this one, this is the only time I'm ever going to use this Sandclaw. It's because it has 5 initiative. It does give me a little bit of focus to help the modification, but I'm not too worried about my modifications. Because again, I'm doing free to play, friendly. I used a call. Again, it's got initiative, it's got focus, it's got unit defense. I really like the unit defense part. I used a Scout's Mail because it gives initiative. It also gives me some focus. And then I used the Marish Reigns because, again, initiative. And it also gives me some unit defense. There are other options of things that have initiative on it. And then 4th is your best damage dealer. Okay. Mine happens to be Dane. Okay. As you can see, I still have a purple on here. But all I'm worried about is trying to inflict a little bit of damage with him. Okay? So, whether your best damage dealer is Gimli or Shadow or Bjorn, whatever's usable, okay? For your best damage dealer, this is what you want. So I have, close out, my tank, my damage reduction, and then my debuff and crowd control in Sauron. And then I have my damage dealer in Dane, okay? And again, Dane can be replaced with other ones. So let me go to a couple reports and show you this. So let me scroll up here. I don't remember where I started. So let's go to here, to King Triton, okay? The goal here is to cause a draw, which slows down your enemy. It makes them 10 minutes to take a tile instead of 5. It gives your whales time to come over and kill people. It slows down their advances because it's free to play. You know you're not going to just run over and mow over people. But a lot of times free to play get mowed over to where when they're hitting whales, they're only taking 100, 200, 300 supply off the supply bar against these whales and krakens. So let's take a look at his formation. As you can see, he is respect level 10 Sauron. He has his relic. Okay, his initiative is 38, plus he's got 2 from the Great Beasts. Okay, so that's 40. But then both Sauron and the Great Beast get plus 5 from this 2-piece agility set. Well, that puts him at 50 initiative. Okay. Z1 Shadow. R11 Undying. R13 Sauron. Is he way ahead of me? No, but he is bigger than me. And I took a third, a little bit more than a third, about what, 45% of his health? Okay. And the reason for that is right here. We're going to go into this part of the report. If you look down here, the number of rounds causing anomalies, 3, 4, and 1. Okay, this was a bad one because he caught me with the madness, and I ended up getting myself quite a few times. But if we go in here, let's go to round 1. See, his Sauron is faster than mine. So that was one of the things that caught me. Okay, but as you see, I still took a chunk of damage out of him. Xanax, you guys might remember, I did a video from his account changing his gear. One of my friends from when I was in Dome, he is he is not a slouch. I mean, he's got an R5 Sauron because he just started using them. We replaced his Gil that was our Respect 14 with Sauron last season. But let's go. Come on. He's got an R11 Dane. He's got an R9 Bjorn. He's got a Z2 Gandalf the White, which is huge if anybody knows. Okay, so let's go into this one. He has 33 plus the 3 from the Mountain Trolls, so he's at 36. Plus he gets 5 for each Sauron and the Mountain Trolls. So he's at 36 plus 10. He's at 46. Now let's see what mine is. See, mine starts at 43, and then I get 6 from my Immortal Arbalists. So I'm at 49. So I was quicker than him, which means I acted first. Well, my Sauron acted before his, I should say. As you can see there. Now let's go down to the anomalies and take a look. I caused 8 total anomalies. Bleh! And that's what he got caught with. Okay, here's another one. This was just a report, him trying to get me with the Eagles. I don't want to go over that report. Okay, here is Adonai. R12 Sauron. Let's see. She's at 36 initiative between the Mountain Trolls and Sauron, and she doesn't have any speed agility sets. We have an R10 Bjorn, which is a very nice Bjorn, by the way. R12 Gandalf the White, and an R11 Shadow. So, yes, bigger than me. But as you can see, I took half of their health. Now, let's go here. As you can see, my Sauron over here acts before his Sauron. There is a lot more to the reports, but I'm going to leave that alone for now. So, as you can see, I caused 15 anomalies, and that's what they got hit with. Okay, now this guy is a Kraken, Armon Lightyear. As you can see, I still took a chunk out of him. And somebody his size, normally if I'm running Frodo, Gandalf the Gray, and 2 damage dealers, I'm only getting 200 or 300 supply off of him. The reason for that is I had no crowd control, and plain and simple, he was just mowing me over. But with my debuffs from Sauron, it slows him down a little bit. So, he way outspeeds me. He's at 59 just between Sauron and the Rangers of the North, and then he gets another 10 from the set, because the set affects both commander and unit. Z11 Dane. What was this one? R14. Z1 Gandalf the White. And an R10 Saruman. So, did I lose this fight? Absolutely. I lost the majority of these fights. But my goal was to help the team and take a chunk out of these whales, to where before I was not taking a chunk. Okay? Here is Bashful. He is another one. Pretty good size account. R15 Guild to start. R12 Gandalf the White. R13 Dane. And an R8 Bjorn. You noticed all guild gear. A lot of it was done very well. And look at that. I took almost half of his health. Half of his supply. You notice I have Great Beast on Frodo. I love Great Beast. A lot of whales do not like Great Beast because they are very expensive and they are slow to conscribe. But as a smaller player, Great Beasts help tremendously. And the reason for that is right here. Defense +2, 3 enemy formations prioritize attacks on this unit. That's commander normal attacks and unit attacks. Compared to mountain trolls that do the same thing for the first 3 rounds and only 3 rounds. Okay. Can I get a chunk off by round 3? Probably. But I'm getting that little bit of extra damage out of the Great Beast. And then you have to have a faster unit than what Guardians or Great Beasts are on Sauron, because again, he needs that speed. Here, let me go back into that and show you the anomalies for this report. And he doesn't have Sauron. As you can see, I have 9. I gave 9, but he did 11 because I ended up catching his Dane. Was it Dane? No, I caught his Gil with Madness, who ended up stunning 2 of his guys. So, there's that. And I can keep going through these reports line by line with you. But I want you guys to see that these guys are a lot bigger. And this formation can be a huge game changer for us free-to-play and smaller accounts. And this is the last report I'm going to show, and this is Huey from Lane. R14 Gandalf the White, R13 Dane, R11 Sauron, and an R13 Bjorn. And as you saw, almost all of his gear was fully strengthened, quite a few refines, if not maxed. So, like I said, this is a game changer. I love this formation. But I've also accepted my role that I'm not going to kill a lot of people. I am not going to get a lot of merit. Okay, but I'm doing what helps the team. And honestly, whales, krakens get so mad when they can't kill a smaller army, when they cause a draw. With this formation, and yes, I am 20 seasons in and everything, I have only been killed a couple times straight out when I was full. Maybe 3 or 4 this whole season, and I've fought a lot. But my merit doesn't show, because I don't know if you've been paying attention down here. The most merit I get is 23, 2,500, but most of it's like 1,800, 2,000, because all I'm doing is causing that draw and taking a chunk out instead of ending up where I'm only taking 200 supply out of them. So, please, free to play. Frodo should be your best friend. Sauron is a great addition. You saw what he could do between causing the madness, causing the stuns, causing the debuff. So that's what I have to say about this. And I really, truly, in the bottom of my heart, feel like this is a free-to-play, game-changing formation. So, make your own conclusions. And if you want to ask questions, feel free to ask the comments. Ask it in the comments. And please like and subscribe my page. And that's all I have to say. So, as always, make the most out of what you got.